Hello everyone. Welcome to our fascinating journey into the human body. Today, we are diving deep into the digestive system and focusing on a crucial, often overlooked organ, the large intestine. We'll start with the basics, then gradually explore its complex functions, its microscopic structure, and even its role in various health conditions. Get ready to understand how your body handles waste. Ready to discover the simple yet vital jobs of your large intestine? Let's begin our easy exploration. The large intestine is essentially the last stop for food in your digestive journey. Imagine it as a wide, muscular tube, shorter than the small intestine, about 1.5 meters long. It connects your small intestine to the exit point, the anus. Its main purpose isn't to break down food, but rather to clean up and prepare what's left behind. Think of it as your body's waste management and water recycling plant. The large intestine has three main sections. First, there's the cecum, a small pouch at the very beginning, with a tiny, often talked about appendix attached. Then comes the colon, which is the longest and main part, shaped like an upside-down U. Finally, we have the rectum and the anus, which are responsible for storing and expelling waste. The large intestine's key functions are to absorb most of the remaining water from the undigested food matter, turning it into solid waste, and then storing this waste until your body is ready to get rid of it. It's all about making sure you don't lose too much water. Time to test your understanding with a few quick questions. Pause the video, answer them, and then check your knowledge. What is the primary function of the large intestine? Name the three main sections of the large intestine. And finally, what small, finger-like projection is attached to the cecum? Now that we have the basics down, let's explore the large intestine in a bit more detail, uncovering its specific parts and their deeper roles. Let's revisit the anatomy with more precision. The large intestine kicks off with the cecum, a pouch where the small intestine empties. Attached to it is the appendix, a small organ that might have an immune function. The main segment, the colon, is divided into ascending, transverse, descending, and sigmoid sections, forming a distinct path. The rectum is the final straight part before the anus, the body's exit point. This detailed structure allows for its specialized functions, particularly in water management and waste processing. The most vital function of the large intestine is absorbing water and electrolytes, like sodium and chloride, from the leftover digestive material. This process is crucial to prevent dehydration and to solidify the waste into phases. But there's more. Billions of friendly bacteria, our gut flora, thrive here. These microbes ferment undigested carbohydrates, producing gases and beneficial short-chain fatty acids. They also synthesize essential vitamins, like vitamin K, crucial for blood clotting, and several B vitamins, which our bodies need. So, it's not just a waste disposal unit, it's a vital ecosystem. As water is absorbed, the liquid chyme gradually thickens into solid phases. The large intestine then acts as a temporary storage facility for this waste. When enough fecal matter accumulates, it triggers a reflex that signals your body it's time to go to the washroom. The large intestine also moves this waste along using wave-like muscle contractions called peristalsis. However, these movements are generally slower and less frequent than in the small intestine, providing ample time for maximum water absorption and solidification of the phases. Alright, let's challenge your knowledge a bit further. Take a moment to answer these 5 questions. What role do beneficial bacteria play in the large intestine? Name the main sections of the colon. What is the primary substance absorbed in the large intestine? What is the small, finger-like projection attached to the cecum called? And finally, what process moves phases through the large intestine? Ready to dive deeper? Let's analyze the large intestine's unique features, compare it to the small intestine, and understand its critical role in health and disease. To truly appreciate the large intestine, it's helpful to compare it with the small intestine. While the small intestine is long and narrow, designed for nutrient absorption with its villi, the large intestine is shorter but significantly wider, and notably lacks villi. Its primary role isn't digestion but rather water and electrolyte absorption and compacting waste. The bacterial fermentation here is intense, breaking down fibers and synthesizing vital vitamins like K and some B vitamins, a function largely absent in the small intestine. This distinction highlights their specialized, yet interconnected, roles in digestion. The large intestine is a bustling microbial factory. Its anaerobic environment is perfect for billions of beneficial bacteria to thrive. These microbes are not just passengers, they actively ferment complex carbohydrates, like dietary fiber, that our own enzymes can't break down. This process yields short-chain fatty acids, which are a minor energy source for us, and various gases. More importantly, these bacteria are crucial for synthesizing essential vitamins, particularly vitamin K, vital for blood clotting, and a range of B-complex vitamins, which are indispensable for numerous metabolic processes in our body. This symbiotic relationship is key to our health. The act of defecation is controlled by a complex interplay of reflexes and conscious will. When feces distend the rectum, stretch receptors send signals to the spinal cord, initiating an involuntary reflex that contracts the rectal muscles and relaxes the internal anal sphincter. However, we also have conscious control over the external anal sphincter, allowing us to decide when and where to defecate. This intricate neural control is essential for proper bowel function. When this system goes awry, we can experience common issues like constipation, where too much water is absorbed, or diarrhea, where not enough water is absorbed, both impacting our comfort and health. Let's test your advanced understanding. Here are 7 questions to challenge you. Differentiate between the large and small intestine based on their primary functions. Explain the significance of bacterial fermentation in the large intestine. Describe the defecation reflex. How does water absorption primarily occur in the large intestine? Name 2 clinical conditions associated with large intestine dysfunction. Why does the large intestine lack villi? And which specific vitamins are synthesized by gut bacteria? Now, let's push the boundaries of our knowledge. We are going to explore the large intestine at a competitive level, delving into its microscopic architecture, precise transport mechanisms, and its profound influence on overall health. At a microscopic level, the large intestine's wall reveals sophisticated engineering. It comprises 4 layers: mucosa, submucosa, muscularis externa, and serosa. The mucosa, unlike the small intestine, lacks villi but boasts deep intestinal crypts packed with goblet cells, which produce copious mucus to lubricate and protect the lining, and specialized absorptive cells called colonocytes, optimized for water and electrolyte uptake. The muscularis externa is unique, featuring 3 distinct bands of longitudinal muscle, the taeniae coli, which create the characteristic pouch-like haustra, essential for mixing and propelling contents. This specific architecture underpins its specialized functions. The large intestine's crucial role in water balance hinges on precise transport mechanisms. Water absorption is primarily passive, driven by the active transport of sodium ions from the lumen into the colonocytes and subsequently into the interstitial fluid. This creates an osmotic gradient, drawing water along with it through aquaporins and paracellular pathways. Chloride ions often follow, and bicarbonate is secreted in exchange for chloride, aiding pH regulation. This intricate ion movement ensures efficient water recovery, preventing dehydration and solidifying fecal matter, a critical physiological process that maintains our body's fluid homeostasis. The gut microbiome is not just a collection of bacteria, it's a vital organ within the large intestine, a bustling ecosystem of trillions of microorganisms. This diverse community performs functions indispensable to our health. Beyond synthesizing vitamins and fermenting fibers, they act as a crucial barrier against pathogens, preventing harmful bacteria from colonizing. They also play a significant role in modulating our immune system, educating it to distinguish between friend and foe. Furthermore, they contribute to metabolic processes, influencing nutrient absorption and even producing neurotransmitters that affect the gut-brain axis. Any imbalance, known as dysbiosis, can have far-reaching implications, contributing to conditions like IBS, IBD, and even affecting mood and cognition. Understanding this complex interplay is paramount in modern biology. The large intestine's motility, though slower than the small intestine, is meticulously coordinated. Haustral churning, slow mixing movements, ensures thorough water absorption. Peristalsis, while present, is less frequent. However, the most significant movements are the powerful mass movements, occurring just a few times a day, which propel faces over long distances towards the rectum. These are often triggered by reflexes like the gastrocolic reflex, initiated by food entering the stomach. This entire process is finely tuned by the enteric nervous system, the gut's brain, and influenced by the autonomic nervous system and hormones like gastrin. Disruptions in this complex control can lead to common disorders such as irritable bowel syndrome, a functional disorder, or more severe inflammatory conditions like Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis, highlighting the organ's intricate and vital role in overall health. Now for the ultimate challenge. Tackle these first 5 questions designed to test your comprehensive knowledge. Explain the histological features of the large intestine mucosa that distinguish it from the small intestine. Describe the specific mechanisms of sodium and water transport across the colonic epithelium. Discuss the multifactorial roles of the gut microbiome in the large intestine beyond digestion. Differentiate between haustral churning and mass movements in terms of their function and frequency. And finally, what is the role of the Taenia coli in the structure and function of the large intestine? Let's continue with the remaining 5 challenging questions. Explain how the defecation reflex is controlled by both involuntary and voluntary mechanisms. What is the significance of short-chain fatty acids produced by bacterial fermentation in the large intestine? Differentiate between irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, and inflammatory bowel disease, IBD, in the context of the large intestine. How do hormones and the autonomic nervous system influence large intestine motility? And finally, discuss the clinical importance of understanding the large intestine's functions in diagnosing and managing conditions like constipation and diarrhea. And that concludes our in-depth exploration of the large intestine. We've covered everything from its basic functions to its complex microscopic structure and vital role in maintaining overall health. We hope this journey has deepened your understanding of this incredible organ. For more such engaging and comprehensive educational content, make sure to visit synapse.omaps.in. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for regular updates. Keep learning and stay curious.